Hey guys, it's me. It's Ivy Wells here to present to you my Book Boss Over Dreamer in 60 Days or Less Masterclass. Today we are going to talk about the 8 steps that it will take for you to create your business. Not just any business, a money-making business. So let's get down to it. Welcome to Book Boss Over Dreamer by none other than me, Ivy Wells. So what do you need to finally get started in your business? Now, all those things we just talked about, like your mindset, your business plan, your name, all of these things are so very important and intricate to make sure you're getting all of that together, wound all up before you jump down into the actual necessities. First, we're going to talk to you today about communication with your clients and vendors. Now, communication is so important. As you see on the right-hand side, you guys, yes, we are back to these quotes. It says, if you build it, they will come. People are always in search of something, okay? It's just a world where we're always working so hard, and while working so hard, we need something to help us get us through, all right? So, communication. Communication is the sole most important thing, part of your life. Not just your business, but we have to, as people, learn to be amazing communicators. Now, you can communicate via your vendors and your clients via email, some type of accountability structure, your cell phone, social media, and video conferencing. All right. Email. So I always tell people, first things first, get a Gmail account. Because even if you have a domain, that domain email address still needs a backup in case you lock yourself out, you don't know your password. And just in case there are just you would want to send other things to maybe that Gmail account that you may not want to send to your domain account. Next is the domain, which is the words behind the @ So like my domain is Ivy J Wells, right? So my email address, or like, let me back up. So for my clothing line, my domain is janellelove.design. So my email address is ivy@janellelove.design. Well, that janellelove.design is actually my website, and it's the domain name, okay? If you have any questions about what a domain is, just reach out to me. So let's talk about email capturing marketing platforms. These days, they have made having a business so much easier. Why? Because all you have to do is get people to sign up, and now you automatically have an audience to launch to. Imagine it being 30 years ago, and you're saying you wanted to start a business, and in starting that business, you had a brick and mortar store. Do you know what it took for them to bring people into a brick and mortar store, and we're complaining about getting people to our Instagram and Facebook? Whew, yeah, talk about hard times. Thank God for technology. So these platforms help you to automatically have a group of people to launch to. So when you see people say, click the link in my bio, join my email list, this is what I'm talking about. All of those companies at the very bottom, like Drip, MailerLite, MailChimp, ConvertKit, Constant Contact, these are all different platforms that you can use that will assist you with capturing and maintaining your email list. One thing I love about it is when I send automated emails, let's just say this, I'm just happy at the fact that it allows me to schedule emails to go out, because who knows that I'm going to be up in time to make sure that email goes out, or I'm going to even remember in the middle of the day. So what you want to do is sign up for one of these. I use MailChimp. A lot of people I know use ConvertKit. It's really good. I knew someone that used MailerLite. I don't necessarily, I use MailChimp because it's free before 2000 emails. Okay, so excuse me, guys. It's been a long morning before jumping on here to record this for you guys. So last but not least, these email capturing platforms, they also allow you to structure your sales funnel. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute when we get to that section. Accountability systems. And what I mean by accountability is these are systems that hold you accountable to your time and to your tasks. So things like a calendar. Y'all, I use my calendar. I'm going to show you what my calendar looks like. Okay. Let me show you. Let's see. Because I want you to see how important. Okay, guys, this is my calendar. And you see, I literally put everything on my calendar. I put my routine. So let me see if I can open up a day for you guys. So this is my routine here. You see it says prayer, emails, all that stuff is here on my calendar. Calendars are bad, all right? So these are some of the calendaring systems you can use. I specifically use Google. I've never tried a company, but of course I've used Outlook and DigiCal and CloudCal. So that's just the cloud emailing calendaring system. Schedulers. Okay. I'm very biased, but I use Calendly. I have a friend that uses Acuity. And then I know no one that uses Schedule One or CoSchedule, but I wanted to give you guys options because I don't want you to feel like you have to use Calendly. And they are, so let me tell you what the scheduler does. Another click the link, right? So all it is a link. People can click on the link. They can schedule time onto your calendar. It automatically goes onto your calendar and goes onto their calendar. But what's even more important about all of this is the mere fact that when people click on the link, they see your actual availability based upon, get this, the times that you denoted that you're actually available on the platform and what's actually available on your calendar. So there is no such thing as overscheduling or being double booked. Calendly also accepts payments. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So people, when my clients come over and they are scheduling time to put on my calendar, if it's like a one-on-one session or they're scheduling to go through my strategy factory, it will allow them to select one, the day that they want to get started. And then guess what? By the time they get to the end, they are swiping and they are paying me for my services. So there isn't any back and forth. It's literally giving them the autonomy to do what they need to do without, me having to talk to them. So this aids and abets your pillow money, which we're going to talk about later. Here are project management tools. I love Asana. I have not tried Trello or Casual or OmniPlan, but like I said, again, I wanted to give you guys options. Asana is an amazing tool. Asana allows me to go in, talk to people via the app, and schedule items that, like if we're working on a group project or I'm like working on like an event with someone, I can go in and schedule their go live timeline via Asana, and then I can just periodically check in to see what they have or have not gotten done. Next, we're going to talk about the phone. So how important is your cell phone in your business? It is your business for some people, okay? So with your phone, you can get things such as Google Voice to create a phone number for yourself, or you can do text message campaigns. So Google Voice, all right, this allows people to know that you're not a fake person, that you are real, and they can call you if they have any questions. I do not advise giving people your number, your personal number, because you do want to keep and maintain and draw that line of friendship and business. Text messaging marketing platforms, 180TXT, Avachado, and avocado, and easy texting. So these are ones I know you guys have like signed up for email lists for like these large major companies, and I know you have gotten text messages because the Gap company they are known for it, to tell you about like their holiday sales, to tell you about any sale they're having, just to come get you spend money. Okay, y'all, it really works. So I'll be like, oh my God, it's 50% off of 50% off. I need to go. So basically it's an easier and quicker way for you to get your information out to your clients. Because y'all, we have our phones in our hands and at our disposal at all times. At all times. The same way people are on social media at all times is the same way people just literally have their phones. So that is the best way to easily reach people. Now, how important is social media really? Social media all depends on your products and if you feel comfortable putting it out there. But let me tell you, social media can get you in front of so many people. I don't think that people really understand the gravity, the immense like change that social media has created for us. Let me tell you why. Social media can make me and someone from Russia an instant neighbor. How is that possible? Just by scrolling through timelines, researching hashtags, because immediately you just associated me with a person that's doing the same thing I'm doing, but they don't even live near either of us, right? So social media is just a way to get yourself out there nationally, right? And globally even. So a lot of times we think really small when it comes to our products and services and think, I'm just gonna sell this in my backyard to my friends. I'm just gonna sell this to my family. Oh, now I'm gonna take it to school and sell it. No, you can sell it to that person that's in Russia, okay? So yes, use your social media, use it wisely. Always, always, always be closing, okay guys? We will talk about I'm doing a social media revamp for myself, but then somebody has asked me to help them revamp their social. And this is very important to my clients. I pitch to them that you want people to be able to read immediately who you are once they get on social media and know exactly what you do. Because if their if your friend's friend says, I need somebody to help me get started with my business. Let me tell you something. All my friends know what I do. So they're going to immediately be like, oh, I got somebody for you. Her name is Ivy. She's a little crazy, but she will get the job done, okay? All right. So that's enough about SM. Video conferencing. Let me explain this. Video conferencing, again, is much like social media. It's a means to an end to become a global leader, salesman, whatever you want to call yourself. It makes you instantly be able to connect with people all over the world. And I use Zoom. I used GoToMeeting when I was in corporate, and a lot of my clients had WebEx. I have never used WebEx, but I do use Zoom. Currently, in corporate America, I did use GoToMeeting. They're both very, very good things. They both have their pros and cons. The pros about Zoom is real user-friendly, it's simple. Cons, it doesn't allow you to download like the people that have attended like your webinar or whatever it is, like GoToMeeting does. So those are kind of like my nuances with those. Next, we're talking about registering your business. This is very important to do it from day one, because one thing I know, and I have seen y'all, and it breaks my heart, is when people will start a company, get it going, it's very influential, and somebody beats them to a punch to register their name. Like, I have seen it where a lady went to go register her business that she had been operating in for 2 years. Went to go register that business name. Do you honestly think it was still there? No. Somebody had taken it. She had to rebrand herself. Is that a pain? Yeah. So, I'm saying, guys, like, make sure that you're doing exactly what you need to do when you need to do it. All right, here we go. Business registration. So what are they? What are EINs? What is the business registration? I'm going to give you a little tidbit background on EINs. So EINs were not necessarily always created as the employee. Okay, well, let me say this. It was created, but it is not always for the use of little old me and you, business owners who are like, I just need this to file the taxes, to have this, to be legit or whatever. No, it's more than just a 9-digit number. It's more than just about filing business taxes. And there was this little thing that happened in 1974 that woke up policy creators and said, oh, wait, hold on. We need to fix something. So in 1966, the creation of food stamps came about. That policy was passed and boom, we were helping millions of families across America. We were helping them to survive. Boom. We were helping millions of families across America to be able to just have food to eat, food in their refrigerator, okay? But 8 years later would have it that, well, people weren't always being honest about the assistance that they needed. And why was this? Because, well, the government couldn't track at that time how honest they were being. So because of this this is what I read in the history of the EIN, was that there was like an overwhelming amount of people that were actually getting food stamps. And of course, come to find out, a lot of them didn't actually need them or meet the requirements. So what the government did was they created our handy dandy employer identification number. This is a number that you need to identify your business to be as what it is. Do you even have to register your business first? No, you can get an EIN without registering your business. Now, this number was created to be able to identify who and what the businesses were and how much money they were paying their employees, so that the government could then identify if what you put on this chart here that says you need government assistance matches up with what they're actually paying you. And when those two things touch and agree, you will be given your food stamps, okay? Because apparently people were just getting free vouchers. Well, at that time they were like little bucks that came in a book. Yeah, y'all, I did just date myself. But they were there to help people who needed assistance. They weren't there to just give to any old body, and that's what was happening. So that was my historical moment on what an EIN is and how it got created. But you can also use your EIN. Actually, you need it. You have to have it in order to create a business bank account. Now, these are your 5 business structures. Once again, guys, if you just simply click on any of these, it's going to take you to one of my very favorite websites, which is the SBA, the Small Business website. So this will then explain to you a little bit further exactly what a sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, corporations, and cooperatives are. So let me tell you really quickly. Your sole proprietorship is a business that, like me, I run the Millionaire Factory all by myself. Even though I do have my circle of influence, they don't have any ownership or stake in my company. A partnership is where it's more than one person running, A partnership is where more than one person is actually running your business. Limited liability company, this is where you create a name structure, okay, to be able to pull under that umbrella a number of other things, whether it's assets, whether it's a actual business itself. Because let me just put on my real estate hat here. There are a lot of wealthy people who own a lot of property, and they don't want people to know that they own property. So what they do is they create an LLC, and the ownership of that property is purchased by the LLC. So what does that do for that owner? Well, if someone slips and falls and hurts themselves in that building, they cannot sue the owner of the building. They're going to sue the LLC. So whatever is owned by the LLC is what they're suing against. That could very well just be that one building and not the entire 60 property portfolio that I own. Yes, I am speaking it into existence. So the importance of having an LLC is basically just to protect yourself. Should you structure your company as an LLC? Yeah, I'm going to say that, unless you are a nonprofit organization and that actually falls under corporations, okay? So please, once you get this slide deck, click, click, click to get more information about what business structures actually are. Now over to banking. You know, y'all, I love counting coins, so let's talk about this. Banking. What type of bank do you need? We talked about with the EIN that you have to have that in order to get started. So we kind of see, guys, I am putting things in kind of sort of the natural order. These are going to be your 8 steps to actually building your business, okay? So let's see here. So banking. As you can see, I did like this little triangle diagram. I love Simple. I love Wells Fargo and Bank of America. I bank with all of them except for Bank of America, all right? Check this out. So Simple. Simple has a high yield checking account, which is very important. However, they don't have any retail banking. They don't have lend credit. So it's not the only bank you should have. However, they are paying 2% APR. Actually, it was like 2.02% APR on every checking account from $2,000 and above. All right. I mean, y'all, who don't like free money? Everybody likes free money. Okay. So then Wells Fargo, they don't have a high yield checking or savings account, but they do have retail banking. They do have lines of credit that you can take out. So does Bank of America. So what is my suggestion? It's never a bad thing to have multiple accounts. Open up a Simple account to get that 2% yield. Open up your Wells Fargo account to also get that retail banking relationship with your loan officers and get you a line of credit. I used to tell my clients all the time, do not start off in debt. Don't go getting all this money to start your business and you don't even know if this is what you want for real, right? So when you're starting your business, start a bank, open up a bank account. Even if it's not even in the name of your business just yet, just still go ahead and open up a bank account that you know you're going to use solely for business purposes. I want to give y'all this example. I used to tell my clients all the time, don't get a line of credit because you don't want to start out in debt, right, in your business. But I had somebody that spoke to my strategy factory. Her name was Ashley. She's a very good friend of mine. Well, we danced together as kids, and she's actually a VP in banking right now to help and assist actually small business owners in getting lines of credit. Now, what she explained to me makes so much sense and why I changed my thought process around it. So listen, she said, think about it like this, Ivy. What if you're minding your own business, making candles, and then boom, out of nowhere, Oprah Winfrey herself comes across your candle and she was like, that candle is going on my 2019 Christmas wish list. Do you not know how many candles you about to sell, girl? Get out of here. Because guess what? You just went from selling candles in your kitchen, making them in your kitchen, to now needing a whole place to manufacture these candles and a fulfillment center to send all these orders out. So Ashley's point was basically like, we don't know when our glow up is going to happen. We would like to think we do, but we don't. All we do every day is put one step in front of the other and keep marching towards the goal. So if you're marching, you've been in business now for 37 days and Oprah puts you on her top things to buy list, or what is it? I think it's her, I just said it. Her Christmas wish list or whatever. Your life just changed in that moment. How are you going to pay for the things you need? Well, remember your good old friend Ivy told you to go ahead and take that loan out? You did. You got a line of credit. You never touched it. Now you need it to hope you get through all these orders that's getting ready to come up. And then, boom, you just were able to walk into your season with your glow up. Now, listen, Linda. As you can see, all three of these matter. Not one, not two. They all matter. Simply because without a portion of one of them, you will not be able to meet your glow up. Whether it's on the product selling side or just managing your money side, okay? Next, we're going to talk about how to refine your product or service. This is kind of my favorite part. Okay. So I coined a phrase, the infancy versus the expansion phase. So a lot of times I find that when people say, I have this idea, but I don't know if I really want to be an entrepreneur, what's ragging them the most is this one thing. Okay, so what it looks like is ragging at them the most is this one simple thing, and that is they are in the expansion phase of thinking for their business and not thinking about what can I do right now to actually just get me started. Just get started, right? Let's break that down. So here in the infancy phase, we have an idea of being a yoga instructor. In the expansion phase, you have the idea of a yoga studio. Now, you may not right now really be able to afford to be to have a yoga studio, but you can afford to be a yoga instructor. Why is that? Because as a yoga instructor, you can bring your mat and take it wherever you go. You don't necessarily need to have a building, which is what's keeping you from actually having a studio. Because right now, you can afford your rent for your house, but you may not be able to afford the rent on top of that to be able to have a studio of your own. No problem. Because guess what? That's what Ivy is here for. I am here to help you scale your business, get it started in its infancy phase. So what is an infancy phase? The idea of the infancy phase begets a feasible startup cost based on your budget, because your startup cost, your budget versus someone else's budget may be totally different. So if they have a $15,000 startup cost in their expansion phase, then they can get started, right? But if you don't, then that's your expansion phase, and we're going to see how we can pull back to just get started today. Now, and you have to have a reasonable launch time. So if you're saying, well, I can raise the 15 grand in 3 years, that's not it. we need you to get started now, okay? So here we go. Your expansion phase can be determined by the affordability of your startup costs or the time that it will actually take you to launch your project. So it's basically the same thing. It's just saying to you, what do these two things look like? So I can't afford my studio right now, but what I am going to do is I am going to become a yoga instructor. And why is that? Because I can go to churches, community centers. I can go to apartment buildings, offices, and teach yoga. All of those things have two things in common that I need. One, I need an audience. Two, I need a place for my audience to go. And guess what? Those places already exist with people and space, right? So in your infancy phase, it doesn't mean that you can't do, it just means that your do will look a little different, okay?